Hello and welcome to Last Time On. This is the podcast for people who want to watch all this prestige television, but who's got time for it?
Who has time for it?
I know I don't.
Well, I finally do have time because I spent last week locked in the airlock. Thank you for finally letting me out.
Anytime. We hope you've learned your lesson.
You know he
Don't
hasn't.
Don't make Ben watch bad Predator movies. Was that the lesson that I had to
Don't
learn?
make Ben pay for bad Predators.
I'm sorry. I feel so
Human money,
guilty about
Victor.
that.
He had to go to his wife and explain the charge on the credit card. And if it was pornography, it would have been so much
It would have been easier to explain.
Hey, she just dropped $80 on a palm reader at a ghost festival. I am fine.
$80. Holy shit!
I hadn't heard how much the palm reading had cost.
Yeah, I didn't. Is
Yeah.
that the average price these days
No,
of getting your
it is.
palm
I've looked
read?
into your future and I've seen how much you're willing to pay.
Do they have a tip jar? The palm reader.
Yeah. So anyway, my $4 of the Predator money is not impacting us right now.
Nice. Well, I just wanted to say that I did listen to. Oh, by the way, I'm Victor,
I'm Xhafer.
And I am Ben.
and I was not here last week, but I did listen to the episode, and I gotta say, you guys. I can't speak for myself because I wasn't on the episode, but it was different listening to an actual episode not one that I edited and recorded myself. It was a new experience, and you guys still got it, man. It is just, it's just as exciting and just as entertaining as the first time I listened to you guys butcher Breaking Bad. So back in season 1.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. It is kind of it's a weird experience because Ben, you subbed in on me on Who Are You once.
Twice.
Did you sub in twice? I know you've been on a couple of times.
I
only had COVID the
We did.
once.
We did the April Fool's Day episode.
Yeah, I've only.
Oh yeah. But listening to that, I understand. More so than listening to the Predator episode where I understood nothing.
That was so much fun, though. I can't believe we ran so freaking long.
I can. Anyways, it occurred to me while listening to that episode that we haven't explained the premise at the top of the episode in a number of episodes.
Yeah, let's get our listeners
That's true.
a recap
It's been a long
of what
time
the fuck
since
we're
we've done
doing
it.
here. Why are we ruining your favorite TV show that you looked up podcast for?
Yeah.
And we're just like, what the hell are these guys doing?
If you're still with us when you joined us for The Expanse, I think we forgot to do this at the top of The Expanse. But basically, we pick a TV show that the three of us haven't seen. Victor has seen The Expanse, so he's not allowed to spoil anything, and he's not taking place in the predictions, hence the presence of the airlock. But we pick a show that we haven't watched. We watch the pilot. We roll a patent-pending number of dice crafted via a algorithm that I have written and am actually trying to currently get patented. And we skip that many episodes. We go to the next one, and then we try to figure out what happened last time on during the show. We're not allowed to watch any recaps. If we fumble our way upon a clip show episode, then we get to continue watching. Anything that takes place during the show itself, we get to know if it's backstory. We almost got one this episode. We got fucking teased on one this episode. I thought we were going to have a full explanation on all of season 3 here.
Really?
And we just got glossed over. We'll talk about it when we get
when
there.
it's just like, hey, tell me what happened on the Behemoth.
Oh,
and she's
right.
Like,
yeah. Okay.
Man,
yeah, we'll get to that in a bit.
Shit went
It's
down.
a long story. All this stuff. I don't know where to begin. It's all like, how about an episode 2? Because that would help me, but here we are.
Well, before we dive into the episode, I'd just like to take a brief moment to go over some things last time on.
Okay.
Just a couple things I wanted to address, which is great because like I do this with podcasts that I'm not on, and I'm all just like, oh God, I want to butt in and give my 2 cents, but here I actually get to do it. This is my dream fulfilled. um, but Ben did mention that he was expecting The Expanse to be more hard sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mhm.
this was something I didn't expect doing our LTO patented warp speed through the show. Season 1 very much is or was uh, up until the finale. So that's one of the reasons like the Expanse fans are so diehard about this series is because well, I mean, the entire series is still very hard sci-fi,
Mm-hmm.
but season 1 is like hard sci-fi, with the gravity and everything. There's no space magic like warp speed or
There's no superpowers like we see in this episode.
yes, there's none of that. There's no inertial dampeners. It's all very grounded until the season finale of episode 1, which we landed on, and we get the blue tentacle alien fucking all that shit. So that's
Yeah.
why it was such that's why that finale was so impactful because your minds are just blown. And Ben, I'm glad you specifically mentioned in the previous episode the moons of Illis.
Yeah.
Yeah, how they were all equal, all 11 moons that were all the same
Equidistant.
shape and size, and in the same planar orbit. Because that is never directly addressed in the show. I'm hoping there's like a deleted scene or something, but you kind of at the end of the season you kind of get a context clues about why that is. But that yeah, I wanted to talk about that on the last episode. Be all just like when I watched this, no one ever is like, hey, there's a what'd you call it, a fairy ring in space?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's odd. Anyway,
Captain, we've arrived around this planet, and I found a warning beacon. What does the warning beacon say? Fuck this.
yeah. Like if you ran into a planet like that, you would be like, no, I'm not going there. That shit's
No.
weird, man. Yeah.
Nope.
And
Hard pass.
and last episode we also saw Burn Gorman.
Sorry. Fucking Owen.
Fucking I did want to confer with you two to see if that one of Ben's previous predictions was that we would get 3 cameos from actors from big sci-fi series.
Burn Gorman counts.
Does it count? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
He was the star of Torchwood.
he was in Torchwood. Okay.
Yeah.
And Torchwood
Yeah,
is a Doctor Who spinoff,
Yeah, I know what Torchwood is.
Okay.
Thank you. You don't have to mansplain
Not
Torchwood.
everybody knows. As somebody...
Ben, I would say if not everyone knows, then it's probably not a major sci-fi series.
Well, as somebody who has only watched Torchwood and never Doctor Who...
Yeah,
they can
and I
go
know that
screw
Torchwood
themselves.
isn't... Did you know that Torchwood is an anagram of Doctor Who?
What?
Yeah.
If you rearrange the words of Torchwood, there's Doctor Who.
Did you know they're rebooting Torchwood right now?
Are they
just
really?
Yeah, they just announced it like a couple days ago.
Wow. Huh. Hey, kids, behave. Sorry, my dog's side.
New cast.
Yeah, because I'm like, they're probably not touching John Barrowman.
Man.
Yeah, that's a whole thing.
They got to bring back Captain Jack, though. He is
He-
Torchwood.
He is also canceled.
Oh, no. What did he do? I don't want to know. I'll
Just-
look it up later.
Google it on your own time.
Oh, God. Okay. Well, speaking of other sci-fi franchises, I keep forgetting to do this. I meant to do this with you guys on episode 1 of our podcast for The Expanse, but I keep forgetting. So, did you know that The Expanse shares a crossover universe with another fictional sci-fi universe setting?
You have alluded to this
Yes.
in the Discord.
So what I wanted to do was I was going to give you guys each, let's say, I'll give you each 3 guesses, for a bonus point as to what it is. You'll never get it. There is no fucking way you'll get it. But I will say it's not Star Trek and it's not Star Wars. That should be not Stargate either. That should also be obvious. None of the big stars are. But yeah, I don't know if there is a reference to it in the TV series. If there is, I haven't seen it. There's a ton of like background details in the TV series, but I don't know if it's referenced. It is referenced directly in the books, but I don't know if it is in the TV series. Calm down. Hey, behave. Go fuck off. God. Hang on. I'm going to put Mocha upstairs. You guys think about it. I'll be right back. All right, Mocha. Come on. We're going upstairs.
All right. Do we want to discuss without him real quick?
No, because I want to win.
It's not Star Wars. It's not Star Trek. It's not Stargate. This episode, I think, actually has a clue. And that's going to be my first guess. And I'm going to take the first guess because that's what it is now. I've locked myself in. So, do you just not want to talk about it at all, or are you trying to figure out what I'm talking about?
I'm also just trying to come up with obscure enough
It can't just be an obscure reference. Like, it has to be something that that would be legally okay.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just throw Han Solo in your book series and expect to not get sued by Disney, right?
Right.
So it either needs to be low-key, something that the authors have a relationship with the people who make the property, something along those lines.
So I've got my guess.
You got your first guess?
Yeah.
My first guess is because this first scene, there is oh, weren't you the secretary of this? And he's like, no, the secretary of transportation, actually.
Uh-huh.
That is beat for beat out of Battlestar Galactica with Laura Rosalind when she gets promoted to president.
Yes, it is. Yes, that is I was thinking the exact same thing. But no, it's not Battlestar Galactica.
Okay. Which was also a sci-fi show, so if they did a little tongue-in-cheek thing, that could work. And also, in terms of how the universes work, that's possible.
This is possible, yeah. But well, let's just have like one, since we only have 2 or 3 episodes left of this.
Yeah, I'm comfortable doing a couple.
Right.
We'll just do one guess per episode per host.
Right.
So Ben, your turn.
I'm gonna say John Carter of Mars.
No, but I'm not gonna say I can't. Good guess is all I will say, but no.
Sorry,
I don't know, that was funny.
My wife just got home. Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, dang, I was really hoping it was going to be John Carter.
I've been meaning to see that. That's been on my watch list.
It's
forever.
a book series, a very
Yeah.
old book series, and it was. I haven't seen the film, but it was one of those things. They're like, well, of course, we're going to make a movie based on each book, and it turned into a boondoggle. But I was just like, okay. Famous book series about Mars, tons of stuff to deal with. Also, public domain. Like,
oh, it is?
Oh, yeah.
How long ago was that book written? Jesus.
Tarzan, right? It was around the same time as the Tarzan books.
I mean,
wow.
It's Rudyard Kipling.
Yeah.
Huh. I didn't realize it was that old. I thought it was like the 70s.
Or sorry, no, it's Edgar Rice Burroughs.
Yeah. So did you say that it was a sci-fi show specifically that it's a crossover with?
It is a sci-fi setting. And that's all I'm saying.
Okay. Then no. That's
could be a book, could be a movie, could be a video game. Who knows?
I wanted to eliminate Game of Thrones because I know that the authors of this have a relationship with George R.R. Martin. And so that would be a fun little thing to do for them. But I wanted to just get that out of the way. Okay.
My fan theory, that wouldn't fit with my fan theory of Game of Thrones, because I think Game of Thrones takes place inside a Dyson sphere, but we can talk about that some other time. So,
ooh,
yeah,
ooh, I'd have that conversation. That sounds interesting.
Yeah,
I haven't heard Dyson sphere, but I have heard that it's in a non-spherical Earth planet. But we are 16 minutes in and we haven't started talking about it.
I missed you, Ben. All right. All right. So we hit our very first recap that we have to skip. By the way, this is Season 5, Episode 5. Sorry, Season 5, Episode 6, Tribes.
Yep. Totally skipped that. And we cut to Avasarala, who is at the UN. Not sure what her current role is.
Not on Earth. But she is at a UN office.
Yeah, and
because the UN symbol and the flags are all there in her office. Yeah.
Did you, Xhafer, notice the UN flag and symbol?
The like 50-50, yeah.
Yeah, what's the other 50?
It
What
was
is it?
Earth and stars, right?
No.
It was like UFP-ish? No?
No.
What was
but
it? I missed
the
it.
flag is different.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Be right back. Hang on. Guys.
These dogs do not want us to record podcast.
No.
I thought it was a Starfield or something. I noticed it was cut in half now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to get a drink while he's doing this.
Yeah, take your time. Yeah, so she is looking at recordings of the aftermath of a terrorist attack on Earth, where, and I was tempted because of what this terrorist attack is. It is, hey, we sent giant rocks and smashed into everything.
Come on, you apes! You want to live forever? Kill them all!
But I'm like, Starship Troopers has like significantly more advanced technology than this.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't work. But
Yeah.
she's just like looking at her pad and seeing like no messages, like, hey, you're out of the game, Christian.
Her husband. Yes.
Well, but
Yeah.
her
That-
husband,
which-
but also nobody from the government is calling. Like,
Yeah.
she isn't being called into crisis meetings. She isn't being, asked for comment. She's not part of the game anymore.
I did I did chuckle pretty hard when I was listening to your last episode, and you mentioned that you're like, "Oh, hey, Arjun's back. Glad to know he's still here." And I was like, "But for how long?"
Well, he might
One
be
dice
okay.
roll.
I don't know. We didn't.
He is just currently. I'm not going to say
He's MIA.
what his status
he is MIA.
He is not here, and his name is not in the credits for this episode. So
Yeah. So it's you and Starship Troopers. I went Babylon 5. My notes say that Earth was attacked with mass drivers.
Oh.
And the new Secretary General, Pastor, comes in, and he was the Secretary of Transportation, and this was, as Xhafer already alluded to, this is like a fun twist on Battlestar Galactica, where she is like, the Secretary of Education, and she is very
Right.
much like, I am the
Like,
continuity
oh shit, I'm next in line now.
with the
Yeah.
government. Like, I need to be president. These are the rules. And Pastor comes at it from a completely different point of view. It's just like, I wanted to fix the damn roads and was better than the other guy. I am not, like, prepared for Secretary General of Earth. Please join my provisional council and help me, because I was good at the thing I was doing. I'm now out of my depth.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that it is pretty much confirmed here in this very first scene that she lost her re-election.
Yeah.
And he also does mention the new guy, David Pastor. He does mention that Avasarala, it's because of her that they were able to repel the attack. Those were the exact words. So
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. She's somehow involved in defending Earth despite not being in office. Which, as a politician, is insane. Can you imagine if someone attacked the United States and Obama helped us out? Somehow, the attack was stopped by Obama. It'd be crazy.
it's because he's the only one still using a BlackBerry, and our cell phone networks got knocked out. He's like, well, we need to contact the White House. Got a message on my BlackBerry. Haven't done an Obama impression in a while.
I don't know if it's ever on Draft the Universe. At one
It might
point,
be at some point. We did the
I
President's
had
Draft,
a very
probably
good
there.
Obama, but I can't do Obama as a white guy.
So,
I believe in you, Ben. We have hope.
after this, we see a shot of Earth that I totally paused. Because
Oh.
when I looked at Earth, the first thing that jumped out to me is that Florida was missing.
Dream.
Thank God, we can only hope.
That's the
And so after I'm like, wait, Florida's fucking gone, I pulled up a map of the North America currently, and I did a little comparison.
Is Florida still there on the map that you pulled up currently?
Well, yes,
Alas.
yes, Florida's still with us. So Jersey's gone, Long Island is gone.
Oh,
The Virginia chunk of the Delaware Peninsula is gone because the Delaware Peninsula actually has 3 states on it: Maryland, Delaware, and Virginia. And the southernmost tip of that was gone, which is the Virginia bit. Up in our neighbors to our north in Canada, Prince Edward Island is about half the size it should be.
oh,
Cape Breton, Nova Scotia is gone.
no.
Sherbrooke, Nova Scotia is gone. But, Ben, you can still be a broken man on a Halifax pier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I was wondering if some of this was from the attack because they had mentioned the floods in New York and stuff, and raising water, that will affect more areas.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it would be enough to sink Florida. So I am curious what happened there.
I'll get my scientists on it. But when we saw this frozen scene, I was expecting like, oh man, are we gonna see a Tunguska explosion thing happening here? Which, if you guys don't know, that is a meteor impact in Russia that like knocked down hundreds of square miles of forest.
yeah,
I was
yeah,
just like,
I'm aware.
Are
of
we
the
still
Tunguska
like
impact, but yeah.
mid
That's
shits
what
happening? Like what's going on?
We appear to be mid shits happening.
Yeah.
There's lines later in the episode when Amos and Sister Mao talk to the guy at the campfire. They mentioned going to Baltimore, and he's just like, the tide is still rising, bro. Like, you do not want to be in a coastal city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So it's
I
Amos
think we
and
are very
Clarissa.
much shit happening.
Amos has apparently broken Clarissa out of prison. And guys,
Yeah.
second episode in a row, I am salivating. I am champing at the bit. We got refugees everywhere. Just all over the place. In my notes, I wrote, "Ooh, refugees."
Well, I honestly, I thought you would have taken the point last episode, because there was a moment where Amos was having a conversation with his lady friend in the underwater structure, and they were talking about how things are going to get bad, and he was just like, "Yeah, always happens."
Yeah.
I was thinking that counts for Amos goes, "Fuck these refugees," but it's funny. It wasn't until you brought it up that I realized just how often that happens in this show. It's
always
almost
Amos.
as bad. It's almost as bad as the Stargate crew always getting themselves in prison. It's like-
Then we
Holden
Yep, cut over to Holden.
on the Rosie, who has a completely new crew in this ship.
Yep.
There is one face I recognize in this entire bitch, and it is Monica. For some reason, Monica is
The
there,
reporter,
our journalist. Yeah.
Yep. She Shanghais herself onto the crew, and our new guy. I don't know if they mentioned his name, but
I saw it when I paused, and I didn't bother to write it down.
His name's Bull, which I think is a great nickname. But she tells him, look, I'm not leaving unless you throw me off. And he's like, that is an option.
Yeah.
I will throw you off.
We got an airlock. And they are chasing, I'm assuming, the ship that did this, the
Zamea.
Zamea, yes.
That is the name of the ship they are pursuing, yes.
And also, we have Holden woefully looking at a picture
voicemail.
of Naomi.
Yeah, one
Yeah,
unread.
it's an email. Yeah.
Yeah, one unread message from Naomi titled "If Things Go Wrong,"
Yep.
or something like that. Yeah.
Then we get my favorite scene of this episode, where somebody is coming up and trying to dock with the Razorback. Which
Yeah.
I got a little bit of a better view of it this time. Victor, you at one point tried to ask us what it is.
Yes.
Is the Razorback a space race car?
Yeah. Nailed it! Oh, God, sorry, I should have kept it. But yes, I was going to make fun of you guys for thinking it was a limousine or something. Like you thought it was like a VIP shuttlecraft or something.
I don't know.
But
I just knew it was fast. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
that looks like it's got ads on the side of it.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Not only does it have ads on the side of it, I paused here as well to look at some of the things on this ship. There is a full pictograph series that is commonly known as the Star Trek Enterprise opening.
Oh, it really
On
is.
the whole.
Yeah, it has the
Yeah.
Wright brothers plane and then
Yeah,
other
it's the
stuff
history
and
of
yeah.
man's history of flight, fully chronicled on the side of the vehicle.
And these goons try to bust in, and Bobby
Bang.
starts kicking some ass. What?
I was going to do a Faith of the Heart because we were talking about Star Trek Enterprise. I was trying to work my way
Oh,
towards it.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. You've
know-
derailed the joke.
No, sometimes when you're trying to set up a joke, it's a long road.
getting from there to here.
There to here. Yeah. Okay, we got there. Okay.
But yeah, we get an awesome space hand-to-hand combat going on here with Bobby and her fucking power armor.
And she's got her
Yeah.
Magnus Calgar gauntlet guns and just like blasting guys.
Magnus
And,
who? What?
He's the leader of the Ultramarines in Warhammer 40,000.
Okay, cool. I was thinking he was she looks like Ned was it Red Zed? Ned Zed?
Ned
What was
Zed.
his name from Briscoe?
Yeah.
Ned Zed.
Yeah.
And for some reason, Alex is on a sneaking mission. A sneaking mission. Otacon. And he puts a grenade in their engines and then has to jump for it. And
Yeah.
oh boy, like they did a great job in this scene playing with the sense of scale and perspective, where it's just like, okay, the Razorback is spinning and it goes completely out of his view,
Yeah.
and it's just like, well,
That's a
here
well
I
shit.
am.
That was a great vertigo-inducing scene they had there.
Yeah.
Now, we don't know who's chasing Alex and Bobby or why. So,
Nope.
gentlemen, let's get weird with it.
Let's get weird.
So earlier, Victor told me I was wrong with my prediction of a crossover with Battlestar Galactica. But those were fucking Cylons, and I was right, and he's fucking with me.
They have a plan to infiltrate a different sci-fi series with hopefully a better finale. All right. Well, Victor wrangles a dog. I guess I will say that while most of the people in the solar system have kind of just gotten used to Holden and Alex and Bobby's shenanigans and just like, hey, Mars isn't trying to reclaim the Rossi anymore. We're just kind of admitting like, hey, it's a net benefit having you out there. There's one group of people who has not agreed to that. And that is the pit crew of the Razorback. They want it back because they got the big race on Friday. And
The NASCAR or NAS space.
yeah,
NAS pod.
they've
I
got
don't
the
know.
Dakota 500
NASPod.
parsecs. The Daytona 500 parsecs. There we go.
Nice.
And yeah, they want their ship back.
Nice. That's kind of similar to where I was going. I was going to say that I do remember last time on, one of you guys were asking what the OPA stands for, and you said it was the Oceanic Pacific Architecture Association.
Yeah,
Uh,
of course.
I am going to say that it is Outer Planetary Automobiles, and they run the toll toll roads in space.
Oh, and they've just been blowing right through.
Yeah, they have got to pay some fines, and they're like, shit. Bobby and Alex are like, we're broke. We can't pay this. What do? We have to kill them. That's what we have to do.
Go back and get a shitload of dimes.
Imagine you have to fling them in space. Nice. So now we cut over to the Free Navy, and we get a full close-up scene of Marco Inaros.
Yeah.
Finally,
Yes,
just
we
mentioned.
have not seen him yet.
Yeah, the representative of our 4th best pizza chain.
I forgot about Marco. I don't think I've ever eaten there.
It was the only one in my town growing up.
4th best pizza chain.
Yeah.
What counts as a chain? And does Marco's meet that qualification?
I've seen Marco's before, so
Yeah,
you know.
Okay,
around.
so
And
then
I've-
yes.
I've never been to Michigan, so that must mean
Okay.
they're nationwide.
They're bigger than Donato's. Okay, I'll take it.
But he is saying, "Oh, we are going to kill Naomi," and everybody else is like, "Yeah, no, we're not doing that because it's Naomi." And he's like, I forget this giant guy. He's just like
Sin.
Oh, I forgot his name.
Sim.
It's Sin. It's
Sin.
so it's
Yes,
Sin
CYN.
and Phil. Yeah, and Philip.
Yeah, I got Philip, and he's just like, "You want to do it? Do it yourself, bitch."
I've seen that actor in something else lately. I meant to look it up, but oh well.
And I'm glad we got our obligatory sci-fi series, weird, twitchy bad guy, lanky, not physically imposing, definitely falling into our Baltar niche.
Did they mention who Philip is here?
Yes.
So we get an allusion to it, and we get a confirmation later
Right.
that Philip is the son of Marco and Naomi.
Yep.
And if you do the maths, it's technically possible, but gross.
Let's not, we don't need to get into that. I mean, their actors' ages aren't necessarily
Yeah. It is,
the acting age of
Yes.
the characters.
I actually have a note here to go, what are their ages? How close are they to the actors?
Yeah, I don't know what the characters' ages are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Philip is supposed to be a kid. Yeah.
Not like a
But-
elder teenager.
I don't know, but I mean, you know how they do in TV shows, how they cast 30-year-olds to play high school students. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things. I'm fairly certain he's supposed to be like preteen, like 15, 16.
Okay.
So. But I mean, I don't know for sure. Actually, I haven't gotten this far in the books. The TV show has surpassed the book series, so yeah.
But it
Well,
is
the book series
it was
is
a little
done, so
tricky.
No, I mean this episode has surpassed where I
what
am.
you had read.
Where I am in the books. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
But this was a little tricky because Belters are always like, they've got different levels of family. And I'm just like, is this a metaphorical family? Like Naomi worked on the ship and then left, and it's just like, how could you betray our family? And it's like, oh
Family.
no, like we used to be banging and you left, and how could you betray our family?
Yeah, but in this scene, Marco is chastising his son for not wanting to throw his mother out the airlock. Some real
Yep.
Worf level parenting here, dude. Like worse than Worf.
And she has a great line that I find poignant for a lot of people in a lot of causes. He wouldn't die for you, but he'd let you die for him.
Man, I just about wrote that down because that's a good one.
Yeah.
Remember that, people listening. Anyway, we cut over to... Who do we
Amos.
cut over to?
Amos and
Clarissa.
Clarissa.
Yep, back in the...
North
Amos
American
come across-
Reforestation Project.
Yeah.
Yeah. They come across a body in the woods here. And they check the body for stuff before trying to immediately determine why this dude is fucking dead. And that's a real problem because I don't believe that was how Amos would operate at all. And every other thing he does in this episode proves me right. Like, you flip over that body, you look for a bullet wound, you look for starvation, something.
It's not starvation.
Right.
He's got half of a Snickers bar.
Right? Exactly. Why would you eat that Snickers bar off of the dead dude when you don't know what killed him?
Because you press
Surprise peanut allergy, maybe? But,
He had a
like,
peanut allergy.
but his face would be swollen. There'd be a thing.
he pressed
Yeah.
triangle
Like-
to loot, and it just said half-eaten Snickers.
That's
bar.
exactly what I was gonna say. It's just like a video game. You're like, oh, there's a corpse, let's loot it.
And here we find out it's not Sister Mao, it's Daughter Mao.
Okay, cool. I wasn't
Uh,
gonna say anything unless you guys figured
because-
it out.
Well,
yeah,
a sister, it'd be Julie's sister.
right.
Yes.
So I was using Mama Mao. That would have
Oh.
been Auntie Mao. Everything was in relation to Julie.
I was relating everything
So.
to Walter,
Ah.
which I know is Jules Pierre, but I
Right,
love
Walter.
the tick.
Yeah.
And we now are in Schrodinger's Mao, where nobody knows if he's alive or dead, and he's just disappeared.
And can I just take a moment to say, guys, listen, it's 2024. Can we stop fucking talking about, or was it Erwin Schrödinger? I don't know. He was a Austrian scientist because look, he was a self-centered jackass who literally thinks that if I can't see it, it doesn't exist, and he hates cats. So fuck this guy. All right,
I
let's
mean,
stop
he's right
giving
about
him any
cats,
credit.
but
So yeah. Just what the hell, dude? He's just because I can't see it, it doesn't exist. How self-centered can you
that's
be?
Well,
not
it's-
what it is.
It's not at all what it's about.
Look, you guys had real educations. Don't dumb shame me.
The cat is
I
A
know how the
metaphor.
fucking thing works. I'm just saying I'm watering it down for people like me.
If you put the cat in water, you'll know if it's alive or dead.
Anyways, they encounter a another wanderer, as it were.
Yeah, another NPC. This is totally an
sharing
NPC
his
encounter.
fire. That they walk in and that guy says "nice coat," and I'm just all like, "Yeah, he knows because he recognizes that coat because that was his buddy or he killed that dude."
Mhm.
Like, what the fuck are you doing right now? Get the fuck out of there!
Mhm.
And it takes him offering the drink for Amos is get the fuck out of there to go off.
Not before he gives them a side quest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mentions that there's a doomsday prepper nearby who is shooting anyone who gets too close to his property. So, yeah. This is totally an NPC encounter in like Fallout
Yeah.
3 or something.
Yeah, this was
100%.
totally Red Dead Redemption to me.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad you caught the thing with the coat because I didn't realize that didn't click for me until this most recent rewatch that, like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
he killed that guy. That's
Yeah.
totally what happened.
100%. That's what happened.
Or he passed by that guy and was just like, not touching that. Don't know what he's got.
Right.
We then cut to Joseph and Oksana, who are talking about Dremmer.
Mhm.
And
That's right. Yeah, we get the Belcher side boob scene.
yeah,
Where, Sandrine Holt here, we get a shot of her, and she's sporting the Rey Skywalker hairstyle.
and we've got this sad artificially making a army of pirates. Hey, we've got one group big enough to start bullying everybody else, and it's join or die.
Mhm.
And it's a lot easier for people to say, "Hey, I'll join." But we do get some sad information here. It seems that Marco has killed both Anderson and Fred Johnson, which bummer.
Oh, you guys never met Anderson Dawes.
Yeah, we did.
Wait, you
Did we?
Yeah, he was the guy on the Behemoth.
He was not.
Oh no,
Joe, no.
who was that?
I don't think you guys saw Anderson Dawes at all because his actor is someone who I was going to give you a point for your prediction for an actor from another sci-fi series, but I'll save that for our recap episode.
Okay,
Oh.
but who was the guy on
Yeah.
the Behemoth?
Oh God, why am I? Oh gosh, I'm spacing out on his name. He's one of my favorite characters ever, and I can't remember him. But yeah, he was the guy who was firing the laser
Ashford.
beam. Ashford, yes, Claes Ashford,
All right,
favorite space pirate ever. Love
I was
that guy.
confusing my Belter Space Pirates.
Yeah. So,
But the whole time Dremmer is meeting with this guy, I'm just like, robot kick this guy in the dick, please.
Oh, that's right. She shed her robot legs.
No,
Since
she
last
still had
episode.
them,
Not in this episode.
didn't she? Oh, those must just been grav boots.
Yeah.
Okay. Drummer is concerned, though. She brings up the concern of any revolutionary who has any kind of thought past the revolution, which is we require something from the thing that colonized us, and we need a way around that to fill that need. In this case, food. Occasionally, it's water, depending, but it's a very real concern.
As somebody who is a huge fan of history, there are, in every story about a revolution, there are about a dozen Marcos where it's if you are not with me, you are against me, and the time is now, and I don't have to think the plan through because we're going right now because I've decided it's the time. Like this is the Decemberists. This is the 1847s. This is every Paris Commune after the first one. This is history is just riddled with these failed, attempted uprisings, and every one of them thinks, I don't actually have to think this through because my cause. And it's just like, and if you would have thought it through, maybe you would have been a Lenin or a Robespierre, but you're not. You're just the footnote in history because you're a dumbass.
You're just the QAnon shaman.
Did you notice that when Marco's fleet first ambushed them? Wait, did you hear what they said?
About the Martian.
Yeah.
ships.
Yeah.
This is his ship is way nicer than your typical Belter ship that we've seen before.
It's got
I
lights.
think that's why he's successful, I imagine.
Yeah. It's got
And
lights.
because like Dremmer's ships are all kind of dark and broody.
Right. His looks like an Apple store.
But yeah, it is. These guys always think it's a fait accompli. Once I've got, enough, once I've got enough guys that I can bully every pirate crew, then of course they will all just have to join me. And it's never like, hey, the guys who are big enough will come and stop me, or won't join because when I say, all right, and everybody go, they'll be like, okay, let's just let this guy go by himself and die, and we all go home. Because we didn't want to be here anyway.
Back on Earth, Clarissa and Amos raid the house of the Doomsday Prepper. And this guy does not look like any Doomsday Prepper I've ever met.
Fair, yeah.
I wrote down that this guy looks like what Doomsday Preppers think they look like.
Now,
When they get the little side quest to go meet this dude, and the line that the guy at the campfire says is, "I bet he's so fucking excited that this is happening."
Right?
Yeah.
That is the prepper attitude that I've.
he's already started killing people.
Yeah.
Which because they find blood, and now Amos says he's got a water reclamator. He don't got no water reclamator.
No shit. Yeah, he's lying. his
Amos
ass off,
is
yeah.
planning on murdering this guy the
Totally.
second
100%.
he gets there. But Amos
He just wants to get out of shooty range and into stabby range.
Yeah, but then the guy is smarter than Amos, makes him get down to his skivvies, at which point Clarissa activates all of her Cyberpunk 2077 gear, and mantis blades shoot out of her arms, and she double jumps over the fence and punches the guy 100 times. And then
In
shoots
3
him.
seconds, yeah. She activates her ultimate finisher move.
Are you threatening me?
Yeah,
Fucking-
I'm eating my words because last episode, Ben, like I said, he mentioned how he thought that the Expanse was more hard sci-fi and it's kind of over the top and silly. And I'm like, no, Ben, no, it's not. And then what do we get in this episode? What do we get? We get fucking Bobby in her Warhammer 40K thing,
Holding the
iron
ship.
fisting 2 spaceships together. And then we get this. We get fucking like, I just, out of context, this scene does look ridiculous with the camera right in her face going,
It's so bad.
yeah.
It is clearly we do not have the resources to show Clarissa like running and punching this guy, so it's just a close up on her face as it spasms, and we just infer what happened. And it takes a minute because I'm just like, what the hell is going on?
I thought she was like becoming a werewolf or something. Like I was just like, what the actual fuck?
But we end with this douchebag getting shot, and Amos is going to need a sponge bath because he is covered in blood.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous, just out of context. I mean, the first time seeing this, I mean, just knowing the backstory of well, anyway, I'm saying too much, but first time I watched this episode, I wasn't quite taken aback as much as you guys probably were by this scene. But yeah,
I mean, you knew she had superpowers at this point already.
yeah,
I assume there's been some use of them in the series previously.
you saw it
or at least
happen last
reference.
or 2 episodes ago. It's just that it wasn't obvious at that time.
Well, she just jumped
she was
across the room, which
Right.
seemed...
She jumped across the room in 0 gravity and smashed that guy's head into a table.
Yeah.
I mean, that was using her
Yeah.
same superpower that she has.
I didn't realize
they
she had
had,
a
like-
Sandevistan. You just...
Yeah.
What's
They
a
had
what?
made reference to giving her some drugs or something that
Right.
were like fucking with her, and so they gave her like she was on downers, so I thought they gave her uppers to counteract the downers. And she was just space coked out.
Space Coat.
Speaking of which, Ben, a tangent. Okay, so you know Kane, the WWE
talking about
wrestler.
Oh
cocaine?
God.
I was gonna segue into cocaine. So like a year ago, an indie wrestler started being Blue Kane,
Yes.
where he did water instead of fire stuff.
What?
And yeah, which has led to this whole series of other wrestlers having Kane gimmicks. So there's Gain, who comes out as rainbows and he's gay. There's a bunch of them, but my favorite is Cocaine,
Oh my God.
right? Who will literally like has his finisher, grabs an 8-ball out of his trunks, rips it open, inhales it, and then Coke slams someone instead of choke slams
Oh my
someone. It's so good.
Ska and pro wrestling are the only true forms of art.
God, I hate you guys. You uncultured swine.
I'm sorry, rodeo.
I don't go to rodeos either.
I was trying to appeal to the Texas in you.
Oh, you can.
Speaking of which, Lab
eat
Rats,
an
thanks
entire-
for backing me up. Ska has no rules.
No,
fucking hate Scott.
because you worded it poorly.
I worded it exactly how you did in our chat, Ben. You said Ska has so many rules. Your words. I literally used your exact words. I don't want you to say some bullshit otherwise. I have the screen caps.
But also, we've seen that the lab rats also just lie.
They do lie.
Oh.
They are not a reliable source of information. For the 2 of you lab rats that listen to this podcast.
But also,
Yeah.
just like,
We-
hey, if there's no
The
horns
matter
in
remains
it,
up for debate.
if there's no horns in it, it's not ska.
Yeah, I would say ska needs 3 things. It needs horns. It needs that beep. The not beep. The beat. The wacka 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 wacka. You know, that guitar lick. And it needs garbage because I hate ska. Sorry, I don't like ska. All right, it's like
Podcast over.
I know it's fine. Yeah, I'm not gonna shame you too much for liking ska, but
Do you like
know,
mariachi? Because that's just a skip and a
okay.
jump.
That is true. That is true. It is. Yeah. Yeah. Wow, you're right. Ska is just white people mariachi.
Ska comes from Jamaica. Okay,
It does not. Shut the fuck up. God.
it does. First wave ska is Jamaican music.
There is nothing Jamaican about ska. I refuse to believe your reality here. That is.
Victor, I'm looking dead in my camera. Look in my eyes.
It's creepy. Oh God, this is weird.
Victor, do I look like the kind of guy who has not done a Wikipedia deep dive on ska?
I will abstain from this argument. Just agree with
So
you.
Amos takes Clarissa into the
Yeah, so they
compound.
go into the house. Yeah, she does her X-Men super attack, and yeah, we go into the house.
Drummer reluctantly signs up for Marco's One Belter Nation.
They do a crew exchange where she exchanges her crewman Serge Kylo, who sounds like a fucking Jedi Padawan.
Well, except he's got double the caffeine.
Yeah, Serge. Serge! God, I miss Serge.
Search was delicious.
Yeah. It would probably kill me right now because I'm freaking diabetic now. But God, Serge might be the reason I am diabetic from all the Serge I drank as a teenager.
Philip spoils just enough on accident.
Yeah, so this is what you alluded to, this scene about the recap where she talks
Philip
to
goes
Naomi.
down and talks to his mom.
Well, but he
And
also
we
reveals that
start to see
she's
it.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is the first time we see Naomi, in this episode.
No, she was in a little bit earlier. But
Oh, that's right.
No, but he reveals to Drummer, we've got Naomi.
Yeah.
Glad you caught that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Clarissa mentions having mods, so I guess we're in cyberpunk now,
Yeah.
as Ben alluded to earlier. Amos notes he's heading down a really dark path, and he needs to get back to his crew. It's a credit.
Because
credits,
Amos
yeah.
is a sociopath who realizes he's a sociopath. And it's just like,
Yeah, he has that moment. It's like, oh, yeah.
I
we
need to be
totally
around
killed
good
this guy.
people so that they tell me when I'm doing bad stuff.
I do like the way Clarissa mentioned for the audience here that the writers made the Doomsday Prepper a dick because to justify killing him.
Oh, yeah.
Because otherwise, if he would have been a nice guy, well, I guess I wouldn't have had to kill him if he was a nice guy. If he was a nice guy, he could have been just like,
Maybe-
oh, sure,
maybe
yeah, you
traded
guys,
with him, yeah.
yeah, here you go. Take one of my fake guns. Yeah. Or I guess real guns from his fake son.
Fake son,
that he
yeah.
set him- yeah.
His fake son. All right. Well, that's the episode. I'm going to grab some dice here. We are within striking distance of the finale.
I'm pretty sure we're going to get the finale unless you roll like a few ones.
No, I'd have to roll I want to say a 9 or a 10 soft math for the finale. And we're rolling 3d4, so it'd be a high roll.
Oh,
but
okay, cool. I was hoping we'd get at least one
it's
more
possible.
episode. Go low.
Are we getting three
as if you don't already know.
was it- What do we always get? 3
that is a
episodes
7,
before?
Oh!
which puts us to season 6, episode 4, Redoubt.
With a
Redoubt.
D?
What?
Yeah.
Okay, so a redoubt and not a readout. Okay.
Yes. Holden finds himself at odds with his crew after a controversial decision is uncovered.
Oh!
Alvis Ralla struggles to contain an escalating humanitarian crisis. Drummer's growing faction stages a daring raid with dire stakes. And Philip, demoted to repair skiff duty, makes an unexpected discovery.
Where are you reading this description from?
That is from the Amazons.
Oh, wow. I'm reading IMDb's is the same, but summarized. Like, they left out a lot. Like I don't know why. There's not like a...
I would have preferred that. I thought this was too much.
Yeah, there's not a freaking character limit on IMDb. I don't know why. It just says a controversial decision puts Holden at odds with his crew. On series, Avasarala struggles to contain an escalating humanitarian crisis, and Drummer's growing faction stage a daring raid. Philip makes an unexpected discovery. Oh, discovery! There it is. You get your point, Xhafer. You said that in a description the word discovery would happen.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
That's great. I'm glad I got that point. I've not looked over my predictions in a long time.
Right.
All
I am excited about this one because Drummer's raid is one of my favorite moments in this entire series.
And
Like,
I am excited because right now you're going in an airlock.
Well, before I go on the
Nope.
airlock, I was just going to say that you
Nope.
guys missed. All right, I'm getting that.
Wait, Ben, do you hear that? Silence. No, you're so muted, Victor. We can't possibly hear you. No, not a word. Ah, there we go. All right, so prediction time.
Lincoln, what are you doing up there?
Guessing? I guess no one's coming.
I have seen into the future.
You ruined the prophecy.
I can start us off. My daytime prediction: Naomi will escape because of Philip. Feel like that's pretty obvious. I think Philip's gonna betray Dad in favor of Mom, and we see the foundations of that this episode, and then also the little bit about him getting demoted in the next episode. I think is the other half of that tell.
And I'm going to say, for my daytime, Drummer saves Naomi.
Okay.
Not necessarily mutually exclusive,
Yeah, we could both be very correct here.
or both be very wrong.
Yeah. Holden just runs in, plot armors through some shit, and grabs her.
Prax shows up out of nowhere.
My evening prediction: Avasarala ascends to Secretary General or a role of some equivalency once again before the end of the show.
Right.
I don't know if the UN still exists with everything that's happening on Earth right now, so it might be a different organization, so the title might be slightly different, but effectively a president-level job.
All right. And I will say Marco destroys a Belter station to send a message in inverted commas.
Ah, yeah, that's totally going to happen. Philip is going to die. We might not see it because of the timing of these episodes, but right now I think that we need a reason for Marco to go even crazier, and I think killing Philip is how we're going to do it.
And I am going to say at some point a new Luna-based government becomes a thing. It might be our end point where it's just like, hey, Earth's not in charge, Mars isn't in charge, Belters aren't in charge. The moon is is the new government, or the moon is just like, fuck all you guys. We're just the moon now.
The moon is a harsh mistress. That's known. That's facts.
But we end up with a moon-based government.
We should probably let Victor out, say some thank yous.
Okay.
Look, he spent a lot of time in there. He's done it. He's done his penance.
was my mic muted this whole time?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Because I was reacting to your predictions, and oh god, I was like, I didn't see the blue dot on my thing. But anyway, I was very tempted to stick my ass in the webcam and be all just like the moon and come back online.
Victor,
But,
you explicitly told me before we came on you were putting on pants.
I put on a robe. I met you halfway. I put on a robe.
Junk covered. All that really matters. Yeah. So predictions are made.
I'm really excited. I'm not gonna lie. I'm staying as impartial as possible, but I'm really hoping Ben wins because Xhafer, you've had a fucking winning streak on this show. But man, I'm really looking forward to to tallying up the points, and also looking forward to going back and rewatching some episodes to get some confirmations. Because as I said, some of you guys are a little vague on some of your predictions, and with some of them you're a little too specific. But
Say
feel like I'm already
That's the name of the game.
yeah, it is the game.
Yeah.
Speaking of the game, thank you, Ripe. This
Got it.
Thank you for letting us use your song Goon Squad. We appreciate the hell out of it. Sorry to steal your bit, Xhafer. I just did.
No, it's flexible.
I feel like Beth is sticking her head in the window. Is like, did he just steal your line, Xhafer?
They just put out a new song
They did
rather recently.
Sweet.
Like it's been a couple of weeks, but yeah. It's called Friend in the Dark.
Oh,
Go check it out on streaming services.
And thank you to you, the listener. If you enjoy our podcast, please leave us a review on iTunes or Facebook. It really helps out the show. And if you do, we will give you a shout out by name here on the show. It's been a while since we've had one, but we would love to hear from you. Love to hear what you think of the show. And leave us a review. We will mention your name.
Yeah.
Or whatever fake name you want us to use. And you can also send us a text message at 808-862-5580. and that will be a place to just send us your thoughts. Hey, what are you thinking about this? Also, if you need to ask for access to the Discord, that is a great way to do it. And we will see you next time on Last Time On.
No, you're so muted, Victor. We can't possibly hear you. No, not a word. There we go. I need a minute to actually write my predictions.
All right.
So.
Oh, what the fuck? You put me in the airlock before you write your position.
Ben segued, and I went with it. That's improv. I yes-anded.